What's going on, everyone? It's time for another film review. This one's a Shudder original. This isn't sponsored by them, but yeah, I'm going to talk about it. It's a film called Blood Relatives, released earlier this week in November 2022. It is written, directed, and stars Noah Segan, he's also played and worked on films like Dead Girl, Starry Eyes, Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever, the worst sequel to ever exist, and Redeemer. I actually have a review for Cabin Fever 2, but yeah. So yeah, Blood Relatives. Well, this is a film about a vampire who basically just drives around at night, getting around. And the only time he stops is to either tweak his car or so he can feed. And so he's on this journey, and it's this he runs into a younger girl that has similar variances in the way he is, and so he brings him on. You learn that it's like his long lost daughter, basically, and she has the same like vampire tendencies as him, and it's basically a father daughter bonding trip that you're watching, with some really interesting side characters to come in and spice up the mood and stuff, and really add amusing quirkiness. This is a horror comedy, so there's a lot of quirky stuff, and it is very on the nose type of humor though, and it's not going to be for everyone. But this is it's a slow paced vampire film. It starts off so strong, where they're on the road trip, and yeah, they feed, and then as the story progresses, bond gets stronger and stronger, and they kind of mend their differences and stuff. But then it kind of gets weaker and weaker and weaker as the film goes on and progresses. Yeah, I kind of got bored throughout most of it, because most of it's your standard vampire stuff. But yeah, they try to be funny, and some parts work, some parts don't. It's very tame for the most part, and there's not very little horror elements in this. There's some like vampire moments, but other than that, you're pretty much watching a father-daughter bonding trip drama film in the dark. And yeah, there is some good moody scenes and good heartwarming sort of feel-good scenes in it, but overall I thought the film was just boring and bland for the most part. I was not a huge fan of this. From the makers of Scare Me, which I did not like that anyway either, so I'm not too surprised I wasn't really into this film. And yeah, overall it wasn't really for me. I like a good vampire movie every now and then, but I didn't want to watch a whole pile of road trips of like mending their differences and things like that, with a little bit of the off-putting vampire stuff that kind of seems to just get shoehorned in there for some reason. But overall, it it's not that great in my opinion. So I'm gonna give Blood Relatives a 1.5 out of 5. There's some really good strong side characters, but they don't get the time and place that they deserve. Instead, you get stuck with these two characters where if you're not into them like I was, it makes the movie drag and go on. So, yeah. Oh well, it happens though. There's gonna be movies out there that I'm not interested in that I end up watching and stuff. But yeah, this one wasn't for me. A little too tame, too bland, but it might be a good date movie. But other than that, it's not that great. So yeah, it's on Shudder if you want to check it out. Also, when you're on Shudder, make sure you look for my name, Derek Peterson, no spaces. That's me. I always put my first opinions right after watching the film on there in the comments, and a skull rating. So make sure you look for that on Shudder if you have it. Like I said, this isn't sponsored by them either, but whatever. Yeah, but also make sure you check out down below if this sounds like something you're interested in. The trailer's linked down below, and also linked down below is my Instagram, as well. I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my stories. I have the film title and hashtag, and subject of film and hashtags so you're aware of it. And also my Letterbox is down below at Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the film. So follow me on all those two platforms, stay in loop with this channel. Like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below. And if you have any other films or film franchises in any genre and want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And also, if you have any other films on Shudder that you want me to review and check out and let you know my opinions on that, let me know in the comments as well. Make sure you subscribe. Hopefully, we find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking out together. And so you hear my opinions on popular films coming out, classic films, and reviews on other things as well. And don't forget to ring that bell because, well, I'm feeling like a B movie slasher. Maybe I might check out Somebody Help Me Too because I watched that recently and there's a sequel. So and I hear it's actually better. So I might check that one out in the next review. So make sure you ring that bell to stay in the loop. And yeah, other than that, watch out for all those vampire families out there preying on us. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.